We are interested. I also have a packet of
We do too.
This is just a draft in case we wanted to look for building inspector service.
Hi, Jan.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Here's a bio from the lead attorney. Just wanted me to circulate this information.
Is it just one?
Yeah. I already gave those two guys one.
Oh, so this is my copy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go from
He offered to turn the air on and I told him no.
He's old.
I wasn't sure exactly if we were gonna go with them or not.
Did you ever pass a data generator?
I don't believe so.
Does the village have a generator?
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, any additions to the agenda? Other than the ones I gave you? Approval of the agenda?
Did we want to talk about building inspector or do that later, do you think?
Oh, well, we have the RFP for the building inspector, so we should, yeah, we'll add building inspector to the agenda.
Building inspector down at the bottom there?
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. You have to ask.
Jan, you're the only public gonna make a
Not
comment?
now, thank you.
Okay, we'll get into the parade discussion and the festival discussion for the 4th of July, that's our big thing. We've got a lot of paperwork here about it. I'm not sure we're gonna get through some of this stuff, a lot of stuff here. So the parade, you're gonna be doing the parade, right? And I'll be down there with you. Got any questions about that, or?
The main thing, I still need the parade list.
I'll get that sent to you tonight.
Okay.
We need some t-shirts too, then some of your,
Or like high vis vests?
yeah.
Okay.
Do we have high vis vests for the safety thing in the office already, so we can just take from that. The village-
Yeah, that's what I
The village
mean,
already
yeah.
bought
That's
those.
what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to get them out on the day.
Just have to let us know a total to pull.
Well, depends how many volunteers we can get. You guys get any volunteers to help you?
I think we have
We have at least two.
two that he should be there the whole
Three.
day, and we have one that said he should be available in the morning, and one who said he'll be available later in the afternoon. So probably about 3 more volunteers.
Okay,
Is that just for the parade
Parade.
or both?
I think for both.
For both?
So we'll need about-
For many more.
what, 6 of the shirts then probably?
Probably, yeah.
We should have 7 or 8 vests, adult size.
Okay.
We've given
I
away
think
over a dozen of them.
I think I have 1 or 2 high-vis vests too, so don't worry.
Well, it'd be nice if we all had the same though.
Yeah,
That way we can just say go find some other guys in the orange vest or whatever color it is.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Some additions I made to the agenda there at the end on your sheet, the bingo prizes. Last year we gave out about 25 prizes in bingo. I don't know who went around and got the little certificates from the different businesses, but do you know?
The committee members.
No,
Just
one
like gift
lady
certificates
did
from
it.
Screamers and Cafe and
I
R&R.
think it was Joy. She was the committee member last year and she went around and got the
Okay,
certificates.
I'd be happy to go around and try and collect those.
okay, thank you.
Do we have a list of who gave those prizes last year?
We just listed them all. We've written down.
It
Written
should be on
down.
that spreadsheet with the parade stuff.
Is it?
I think it has multiple tabs.
Okay.
If they're not last year, they're the previous year, which works too.
Okay.
And the way we did it last year, let's say Screamers was gonna donate $25. You'd have 5 coupons for $5.
Okay, so about $5.
Yeah, a coupon, yeah. And that way, you know, we can get up to 25 fairly rapidly.
The crafters are supposed to give a prize out of their booth.
Oh, are they?
And so depending on what it was, yeah. We
Oh.
also gave you part of those for bingo.
Is that part of it?
Okay.
We do, the letter does ask for like donations for prizes, or not donations, but prizes.
Does it say that that's expected?
On the crafters, yeah,
Okay.
Oh, for the crafters application, yeah.
unless you wrote a different letter because I sent a letter out.
No, I think we're talking about the sponsorship letter.
That's the one I
sending
sent
one
in.
out.
Okay. Okay. But no, I was talking about the vendors, the craft vendors.
Okay.
They're supposed to donate a prize.
Okay. And are all of our prizes going to bingo?
You also
Well-
have to have them for cornhole,
Yeah,
Okay.
and parade,
yeah, we had.
best float.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need to know ahead of time, not, you know, just that day.
In the past, we also had, did we do it last year, the drawing,
It was
that
the
we
first
let
year.
them sign up?
That was the
and then
door
drew-
prize. We
that
did
was-
because,
We didn't do
First
it
year.
last year, okay.
right. Oh, did we want to do that again this year or no? With the prizes?
I don't
No.
care.
Prizes for,
So, not last year, the year before that, the village itself had a little booth set up. I think, Jen, you were there, right, or Cindy?
Yeah,
And
every-
everybody
every-
that came in, signed a little ticket, name, you know, phone
If
number,
they wanted
whatever.
to.
If they wanted to, they didn't have to. And then someone pulled the tickets at the end and they got, you know, door prizes.
okay. Was that free? Like a free ride?
Yeah,
Okay.
And if they weren't there, did you pick another number?
then we called them,
Called
let them
them.
come pick them up. Some picked them up, 2 didn't.
I'll do that too if you want to do
Okay, some things we need to decide what's the hours of the festival are gonna be. Usually it's till 3 o'clock. Because that's when people just are tired and they leave and And, so I know there was mention of continuing it, till 5 or 6 or whatever, but I really don't think it would be worthwhile. We won't have enough people in it.
You don't think so?
What's that?
You don't think so?
No. You guys?
We haven't in the past, by 2 o'clock, everyone's leaving,
Yeah.
other than the cornhole people.
And say, unless you have activities planned every half hour or so, people are gonna leave.
Well,
It's totally up to you.
yeah. So I was thinking the DJ would be a draw. The pork chop dinner, that starts around 4:30, I think, I saw. And also people who just wanted to hang around until the fireworks, they would want to do something later than 3 o'clock, I would say.
Yeah, but if all the vendors pack up and go, then,
One year, they did have a DJ, and they had 4 people there.
Okay.
So our experience has been, no one stayed much past 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So that's the committees to decide.
I'm fine with whatever, so.
I do think if we advertise more events and the DJ, had some ideas for crowd pleasing kind of things, so, I do think it would make sense to stay open later. But it might make sense to stay open until like 4:30, until the dinner.
Yeah.
there is people that hang around until the pork chop dinner starts.
Yeah.
But the majority of them are gonna be gone.
What's your opinion?
I think that we can draw more people, and I also think that if we have more events, there's gonna be more interest in coming to the events. What day of the week is July 4th?
Friday.
Friday.
I think the vendors go till 2 or 2:30.
2.
And the library will be done at 2. 6 to 2, that's already a very long day.
Right. Bingo will probably be around 2-ish. You start right after the parade.
We have bingo scheduled for 1.
Yeah, so 1 to 2:30, but
Gives time for the parade to end and
Yeah.
people to get to the tents for bingo. It can be adjusted. Pretty much that parade kicks off at noon till 1-ish or so. Nothing really goes on in the park while the parade's going on. Everybody's just watching for the parade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would make sense to have karaoke competition as a listed event.
Probably.
And the DJ sounded like he had other ideas for how to keep the crowd engaged. So, I'm kind of thinking 4:30.
Do you know about the pork chop yet?
So I actually spoke to Daryl and Sue Ellen today and asked them about it, and then said with the food permit or the food truck thing, if there's gonna be a bunch of food trucks till 6, they're not gonna do it because it'll kill their pork chop supper, or it'll hurt it, whatever. And they said they don't know because they can't give me a straight answer till they have that meeting. It's just like everything else, you have to have your meetings.
Yeah.
So they won't know until the 28th. So they had asked when, tonight's meeting, to hold off with the food truck part, extending it till 6, in the event that they're gonna still do theirs. It's kind of like why not doing the food truck earlier, because you don't want to kill our fire department's pancake breakfast either.
Yeah.
So
What's the possibility it's gonna pass on the 28th? It's next Wednesday.
my guess, because I'm a Lions Club member,
That's why I'm asking that question.
my guess is they'll probably try it one more year. Last year, We were there and we made, I'm trying to remember how much money we made. We didn't make as much money last year as we did the year before that. But if I had to guess, we'll probably try it at least one more year if possible.
Is it by donation?
It is not by donation. They charge, I think last year we charged, God, what did we charge?
She
At
was
least
saying it was
15,
about
it had to be higher,
$50.
because the year before it was
Something like that.
$16.
Yeah, something like that.
I didn't eat
May-
last year,
It might have
so.
been 18 even, I'm trying to remember.
But do you know how many meals you served approximately?
Oh, I don't remember. I know we were busy though. It was insane because there was.
So there were a lot of people that came for it.
There were, and I think what might have happened is because the year before that we were so busy, and then projecting how much we were going to have for this past year, and it just wasn't the exact same.
So you got a good crowd for it last year.
Oh yeah, we got a good
Because
crowd.
most people plan on that, because they want pork chops, they're planning on
They're
that.
planning on
They do
it.
the pancake breakfast and
Right.
that. But how many food trucks do we have coming? I'm only
I think
aware of the
just
one.
yeah.
So do it from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Cut it off before the lions start serving.
Yeah, well, last year they packed up as soon as the lunch hour was over and left.
Okay.
They
And I
didn't
think
even
that's,
ask.
that, well, no, I'm thinking the reason they did that, because when I talked to him, he said, we're not going into the evening, right? And I said, I don't know the hours yet, we still have to meet.
They have
So
something else
They have
going
something
on.
else going on. Oh,
Yeah,
God,
so they
do.
won't stay around
So we
much
need to
past
find out
the
what
lunch
time.
crowd.
If there's any other trucks, then it,
Yeah, and can we find out from them what time they think they're pulling out? Because it's also an issue of people in the park, we gotta help watch that they
Don't run them over.
get, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't stay, they did lunch hour and they were gone, because I never even got over
so
to
they were only
get
there like
lunch.
2 hours?
Yeah, they pulled in, yeah, they weren't there very long.
I mean, I guess they headed over to, was it Kirkland that does the huge thing?
Huge thing.
Kirkland does, but if they are going to Kirkland, they wouldn't be coming here, because that's 3 days.
When do we expect to send out postcards?
Well, that's where a little firm up on the schedule so we can have it on the postcard, but we need to order them either the end of this week or first thing after the holiday, because they'll say it'll take up to 2 weeks to get them. They're usually faster, but we don't want to delay it too long, because then we're further into June on sending them out.
Okay, I think,
I put the sample in the little packet Melanie handed out. Your guys'
oh, this is the
It's the
postcard?
one that's cut, yep.
Okay,
And on the back of it is a bit of a schedule.
okay. I think we are gonna wanna make some edits just to the wording of the schedule and stuff. So we can have that done by the end of the week, I think.
If we can go back to.
Well, what kind of changes are you, I mean, if we did it tonight, she could get them ordered.
As long as I can order them by Tuesday, we
Yeah,
should be okay Wednesday at the absolute latest. So I just know from when I did the town hall, they came almost a week early, but they couldn't guarantee they're gonna do that.
Okay.
yeah. I think we just want to, maximize the, how effective the marketing is. So, some of the things I would wanna reword,
Well, just send me a Word document with whatever
You
you guys
hush, I
want.
wanna hear what he was gonna do.
well, I mean, there's just certain things off the top of my head, like, I think the Lions Club pork chop supper, if we can get a price on that, like,
You're not gonna know it till after the meeting and after they've gotten pricing, so this needs to be done before you're gonna get
Okay.
that.
but that's just like one immediate thought that I have is, and I would wanna look over this more carefully, but like, the bingo's free?
Mhm.
I would wanna notate that the bingo's free on the schedule. And, some of the, like, the descriptions in the craft vendor fair, maybe rework that to make it sound more like, oh my God, I gotta go,
Well, that's,
so.
the big one's the poster. The postcard just has items, times, and locations on it.
Yeah, well, the postcard has to be done, sir. But
So the postcard's the first thing we need to order, and the poster's right behind it, so
Are we-
it's two separate edits.
are we gonna are we gonna be printing these,
No, we
The
get them done by, the size on these are 16 by 20, and I have Vistaprint print them because then they're big in the windows and where they get hung. They're actual poster size.
okay,
They're not, the biggest thing we print is, this size piece of paper.
okay. Will we have, some of these to like hand out to people?
We could do this size for handouts,
Okay,
but then we do posters the bigger posters that get put like in the cafe, the post office window.
yeah,
They're the two biggest places to put them. Nobody looks at the bulletin boards in Casey's or
yeah.
Resource Bank because they're so small.
I feel like maybe we should have a tent at the festival with these
That's right.
schedules.
We do
We
it
do.
on the
It's
sandwich
on the-
board signs.
Okay,
But we do have a, you mean a tent,
oh,
we have a table
village
for
table,
the village.
Yeah,
At the craft, along with the craft.
That's why we rent a
Like
10 by
this
10 tent.
library.
okay. So we're planning on doing that again then?
yeah. We can print this size at the office and have them for handouts available at the festival.
Yeah, and I don't see why, like, I like the free raffle idea. Yeah. Jen, are you planning to man the tent, or who's planning to man the
As
tent?
long as I don't get sick again this year, I am planning on it.
I usually,
I shouldn't
yeah.
get sick again this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll man the village tent.
Yeah, because I mean, that's something,
My sister usually sits with me.
free raffle, I feel like we could put that on the schedule too, and that's another reason for people to come.
I don't come, but find that booth,
Yeah, and
you know.
the raffle drawing, put that on the schedule, have the DJ hype it up
Yeah.
all day.
What time's the DJ starting?
That's still kind of up in the air right now, I think.
If you're cutting him back to 4:30, can he start earlier?
I would think so, yeah. I'd have to double check with the schedule.
Okay, we got a long list of things on the sheet of paper. It's called 4th of July Festival and Parade.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go down and,
Official checklist.
through that list and see what we need to do or not do or whatever. Festival, there's really nothing to add. Financial approval we've got the tables and chairs all rented and the snow cone machine and all that
We're
rented.
good to go, right? I requested the reservation on it. I just have to stamp I agree.
Okay, we got
And
3
then-
tents made, or where did he go?
4 10 by 20 pop-up tents and one, that's on this expense.
4?
That's on this spreadsheet with the green line. It's all listed on there.
Okay.
4
Uh,
10 by 20 pop-up tents, 1 10 by 10, which the village uses. 125 chairs, 8-foot tables, 25. The snow cone machine comes with 50 cups. I got an additional 150, so it'll be 200 cups. I don't think there was an issue with running out of cups last year. I think we only had 150 cups last year. I don't know, I wasn't there.
Stop a minute. The tables,
Uh-huh.
are those all for under the bingo tent?
No, that also includes a couple for under the,
For the village booth, we
Village
need
booth,
one?
yeah.
Okay. And what about the ice cream thing? If you're having the ice cream thing, we did pull tables from the bingo tent at the
We
time.
did the same thing.
Okay.
We can pre-set up over there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm just asking about the number of tables, what was planned for them.
It's the same number we had last year.
Okay, and last year we had to pull out of the bingo tent when we did ice cream. Okay. That was just my question, so you did plan for the village?
I didn't change the counts from
Okay.
last year. It's the
Okay.
same counts for the last year we upped count from the previous year.
Also, I
Okay.
think we want to put the bounce house, like, specifically.
And then the Castle combo units, the inflatable.
Okay, and you got the 90 chairs lined up?
Well, those numbers aren't, unless we're changing something at the board meeting Monday, we said not to.
Yeah, this is outdated.
Those
I think.
3 items can be crossed off of that list you're reading.
Which 3?
The tents, tables, and chairs, they're on this spreadsheet.
So they're already taken care of?
So they're already taken care of. The snow cone machine and the bounce house are taken care of.
Okay.
So the only thing on that I didn't mention at the board meeting is that the money for it was approved. If we're not changing anything, We have to pay, next week, we'll have to pay $772.50 as a 50% down payment. And then the rest gets paid like around the 30th of June, the down payment. It's all electronic fund transfer type things. So,
Okay.
so in the June packet, there'll be both, invoices will be in there.
Does that include a generator for the bounce house?
They provide all that. Yep. Yeah, the rental stuff, they provide everything there, including the generator.
Okay, everything on this list here, you pretty much got done then?
This is Josh's list that I printed out.
So I think we can probably skip through until, I'd asked Melanie about the mobile petting zoo, because they had one at the summer reading kickoff last year. I think it was probably too expensive for what we're going with right now, because we're already pretty high up there in terms of finances.
How much was it?
I'd have to double check.
$600.
600,
Well, technically
Unless
we
you
have
get a
that.
sponsorship for it.
unless we get a sponsorship, yeah.
And if she's available. I know last year she
Yeah.
booked up pretty quick.
Okay. Another thing was, there was face painting last year, I don't know if we wanted to look into that.
I already requested it through the
Yeah.
church, the village church,
Okay,
and they're willing to bring their, okay, what did I say? It was the 9 square, it's some ball game that they play up in the air, and then the
Octoball.
octoball. And he would check to see if their ladies were going to do the face painting or not.
okay.
And last year, the face painting cost $50 total. Right? Is that what
It
you
should be
said?
$50 an hour.
Oh, it wasn't just $50 last year?
I don't know.
It should be $50 an hour, that's what she charges. Unless
But
she gave
we
the
don't
village a deal, I don't
know, we
know.
don't know that it's her.
So
He said he
Cindy-
was checking
Cindy will
with the
find out.
ladies.
Right. So if it's a different person, then
Yeah.
who knows what pricing may or may not be.
So the next thing was railroad safety. I know we have the row of trees most of the way, but I was thinking, do we need any sort of temporary fencing behind like the porta potties in case kids start running towards the tracks? Or
We
not?
haven't.
We don't need to?
No, but someone does need, and I don't know who it is, to contact the railroad. They have a phone number on BNSF's website,
Okay,
or to let them know we're having a festival, because they do let their engineers know. It does not change the whistle blow, but it makes them alert when they're coming through town that there's a parade and festival going on.
You wanna take care of that, Josh? By the railroad?
yeah, I can take care of that.
And I'll look for, I should have last year's, Melanie has it if I don't, emergency plan or whatever it was called
Yep. I have
for
the-
festival, and we can send that to you.
Okay,
So I'm a little unclear on how sponsorships and donations work. Are people legally, can they just donate money to this?
We cannot ask for a donation. We can accept a donation
Right.
legally. We can ask for sponsorships. In return, we'll do sandwich boards and we post who's sponsored.
So the way the sponsorship would differ is that we're offering them something in return.
Correct. We're offering them an advertisement. And that's legal for us. But we're not, legally, we cannot ask for donations.
Okay.
But if you call it a sponsorship, if someone calls it a donation and offers money, we'll take it.
Okay.
Technically, one of the things we get, we have the last 2 years, we'll see if we get it this year, is an endowment fund has been giving like $300 or $500 every year for the past couple of years.
okay.
So we've never asked them for it, they just do it.
I guess.
So that would be a donation.
Okay. If I donate to the village, is that tax deductible?
Yes,
Okay.
because we're not for profit
Okay.
per se.
Okay, so if somebody says to me, I want to donate to the village, is that
I
tax
can provide
deductible,
them
I can
with
say,
a-
yes, it is
Yeah,
tax
and I can
deductible.
provide them, if it's, yes, if it's, and usually if it's over $250, you have to issue it a letter automatically that it's tax deductible.
Okay,
I've only ever had the endowment funds, the only thing that's ever asked for a tax exempt letter.
okay,
So, but yeah, if you need one, I can issue those.
okay.
Alright, so moving on, the sponsorship and the donations, I guess we'll get rid of donations. I'm taking care of that. I already got a letter that I haven't quite sent out yet, but I will be sending out and delivering to some businesses in town as well. Asking Battle Axe if they can come, I think at the moment it's still up in the air.
Who
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Battle Axe?
That's Grant, Gokin,
The coffee
the
truck.
coffee truck that was in
Oh, okay,
town last
okay.
year.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's a no, but I'll reach out to him again, I still haven't gotten a board back from him.
Okay, so you're fine with taking on that? I was wondering if maybe you want to ask Wild Carrot. I haven't yet, but they might be interested. Probably not, but.
Is that another food truck or?
Yes, that's the one in Waterman.
They're in Waterman, yeah.
I'd say yes, reach out to them.
Okay, I'll do that too then.
I've also been, I contacted the Village of Waterman to see if they wanted to do anything with the festival. And I've been trying to get them more involved in our festival, since they don't have anything.
They do Summer Fest with the Lions Club.
I mean, they don't have anything for the 4th of July.
Right.
So, I'm kind of hoping that Waterman will give us a little bit of extra advertising as well. So, I think it would be good just to reach out to that, it's a Waterman business, everybody loves Wild Carrot, so.
Okay, so we should add then reaching out to Waterman then. Do you want to do that?
Sure.
Okay. If we think we need the land, we can ask the fire department about using their land that's next to Purdy Park. I did have a question related to this. When they have their pancake breakfast, do they do it in the fire barn?
Yes.
And do they have their own tables and things?
Mhm.
Okay. So I was wondering if maybe if we set up our tent next to theirs, it would help them, but it probably wouldn't.
No.
Okay. So that is an option. I don't know if we need it or not. The pork
If
chop
you're
dinner.
wanting to think that way, I'd talk to somebody soon, because there's been times in the past they're not willing to let us use their property.
Okay.
That's the Lions Club you're talking about?
Fire department,
Fire
either talk
department.
to the fire chief or one of the trustees.
Who is the new fire?
It will be Joe Herman.
Right, it's still Jonathan until the 31st, and then it's Joe Herman starting the 1st.
Okay.
But usually the fire chief takes it to the trustees anyways.
Mhm.
And there's a note there about power hook, there's no power in any of the lots at all.
You know, okay.
Closest power source would be the fire department's administration building.
Okay. So that, we wouldn't have that then. The Lions Club, I guess they do their pork chop in their depot.
Yes.
Yeah, they do drive-through through the alley for it.
Okay. You don't think it would be worth having our tents still set up for people to eat at if they wanted to?
We just need to know to ask Big Time Rental to take them down later. We can offer them to the Lions Club at their meeting. Mel can see if they want
Okay.
to direct over. It's drive-through, it's carry-out only.
And where are they doing
At
The Lions Depot,
it? At the depot?
you pull in the alley and they,
We're
Come to your car.
And bring it up to you.
yep,
Okay.
it's being cooked outside.
Okay.
And then they're bagging it and putting it together inside, and then you drive out the alley at the other end.
I think if we could have those tents there still, it'd be a draw to the eye, people would see it and be more likely to go get there.
We could do like a 6 p.m. or later takedown
Okay.
6 p.m. They'll be there probably right at the time we say to start takedown.
Okay. Do we rent it for the day or are we renting it by the hour?
For one day.
Okay,
They
so
set
we
it
can't-
up
we can't
early
tell
the
them
morning
just-
of, and they'll take down that same day.
Okay, so we can't just tell them to just do it later, and it doesn't cost us anything extra to do that?
No, we don't wanna tell them too late though, because then they might say they can't take down till the next day and
Okay.
get charged additional.
Okay.
And she's already waived over $400 in setup fees. She's local, so she grew up in Lee, went to school here, lives just north of town.
And we don't think that would draw enough people over to continue the festivities until 6 o'clock, or?
It would be something new if they did.
Yeah.
Do we maybe want to run by the Lions Club, just taking donations for that dinner?
They'll never do it. They gotta pick up the money ahead of time before, you know what I'm saying, and we don't have the money to, if we don't make enough.
Yeah,
I highly doubt they're gonna go for that. I would
Why
be
would you
amazed.
wanna ask them to do it for donation only?
I've had this experience with Relay for Life, particularly like with bake sales and things. The amount of money that you collect is more when you ask for donations than when you put a price on the thing. So like, you know, if a brownie is $3 or whatever, people are much more likely to give you a tenner for it than if you
Yeah,
just say
I've
it's by
heard that,
donation.
yeah, okay.
Because then it kind of, it's like, people are socially pressured into it. They arrive at the thing thinking, oh, it's by donation, I can pay whatever I want. But most people will pay way more than it's worth because of social pressure. So I think it might actually be worth, like, I think Lions Club might actually make more money if they just said this is by donation. And
I'd
you
say
can-
go to their meeting next Wednesday
Yeah,
and present that to them.
Yeah, okay.
What time is the meeting?
6:30.
On the 28th, you said?
Yes.
At the depot.
Okay.
They usually set the price based on a minimum so that they can cover the cost of the meal, of
Yeah.
the service, plus bank a little money.
Yeah. How many dinners did they sell last year?
I don't remember. I just know we were busy, and there was like 15 of us doing it, so it was really busy. But we barely made enough to cover what was spent.
Do you have like a ballpark number?
No,
Okay.
it's one thing that I volunteered for that I don't have memorized in my head.
We can probably ask at the meeting too.
Yeah.
Is there more about the Lions? Alright, so does BST want to do something?
I'll talk to them, I hadn't brought it up yet, I'll talk to them next week, the officers, because in the past couple years, they've had booths. Last year, they manned the snow cone and popcorn machine. So I'll see what they're interested in this year.
Oh, I thought they already said they'd do the popcorn machine and snow cone.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so I had an
I'll
idea.
see the officers next Tuesday, so I'll ask them.
Okay. I did have an idea along those lines. I know we're doing it for free, but maybe if BSC wanted to ask for donations, that would be fine. For the free popcorn and snow cone. Also, I was looking into if we wanted to serve hot dogs. I know you would have to get a temporary permit from the county. The requirements seem to be very relaxed. It's a $60 permit, and you can basically sell anything you prepare on site.
Our insurance won't cover
It
that.
won't cover that? Okay.
You'd have to find a vendor to do it that gets their own food permit.
Okay. Well, I was thinking the EC could also ask for donations with that, but maybe we just squash that then.
What about the hot dog guy out of DeKalb? Did we have a
Big D's.
contact there?
Big D's. I do because he's my brother's best friend, but
Hadn't we asked them to save the date this year, or was the 4th of July out?
no, he said, let me know what you guys are planning on doing. And I said, okay. I said, when we figure out what we're doing, I'll let you know. So, and we haven't figured out what we're doing yet, so I haven't let him know anything.
So do you want her to?
We're gonna reach out to Big D's.
Sure.
See if he's available. Since you've been in.
I'll ask him.
I'm all for a hot dog truck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've already said the church is willing to set up a couple of games and possibly do the face painting. Does the museum wanna like set up a booth or something, like a little mini exhibit? Might be an option to ask them about.
They never have at the summer one, but you could ask them.
Have they opened the museum on 4th of July? Or is
I
that
don't
just,
remember.
I don't think they did.
there's something they opened it for?
It wasn't last year, it was the year before, because they had those old street signs that they
Oh.
were getting rid of. So
It's
they
worth
opened
asking
for
them.
that, but
Okay, I'm fine with taking over that. See if they wanna do something. So some carnival games, I was thinking just very simple games like maybe toss tennis balls into buckets or something. Maybe use a squirt gun to shoot down some rubber ducks or something, but I was thinking I'll take care of that. Be just like fun for the kids.
And then we do have, I was gonna order from Oriental Trading if it was still good to do for it was like $21, the Patriotic Star beanbag toss. It's for kids. It's on stakes. And it's a patriotic thing with 3 holes in it. We've got kid-sized beanbags to throw through. And we can get the giant Jenga thing goes over good too. And our loaner source for that's no longer around. And then the library has some outdoor games that were donated. A Connect 4.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
yeah, we also have that, ring toss thing, the little stakes or whatever, you throw the rings over it. We have that, and then we got one more outdoor game, and I'm trying to remember what it is.
There was a blow-up bowling thing too.
That's it, thank you.
My sister's company bought and didn't use them, and they told her to get rid of them, so she donated them to the village of Shabbona.
Okay.
And is the library gonna take care of, like, setting that up and running it, or?
Absolutely not. You got me and you got me. No, I can't run a bake
So
sale
we'll need,
and a scavenger hunt and games.
so we'll need volunteers to
Yes.
Yeah.
to run those.
I was thinking maybe 1 or 2 volunteers can oversee all of the games at once. Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, and we can also like ask the DJ, like, maybe we have scheduled things. Like, hey, like, in 30 minutes, we're gonna be running bowling, and then everybody will be hyped up for bowling, so everybody can do it at once.
Then there might be lines too, though. Instead of just everyone does whatever they want at a time.
I mean, you could do that too, but you could have prescribed.
Yeah.
I mean, in the past, we had the games set up throughout the center, and then they just, if they wanted to play, they played.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we should do both.
Yeah, maybe we can have like a contest or something for a game. But we can talk about that.
Yeah, the cornhole will get set up before the cornhole tournament, it'll be set up in the morning, and kids and families play with that throughout the day too.
Okay. So the next one is the bingo. The DJ did say he can run bingo, but I wasn't sure if Jan or Denny wanted to run bingo. Perfectly fine either way. It's up to you guys. I think you both helped last year. Is this something you enjoy doing?
Yeah, it was fun,
So do you want to do it
I'll
again?
help, but I don't have to be in charge of it.
Something-
I can help or run it, whatever you want.
Well, if you'd rather do something else, the DJ did say he can do it. I just wanted to make sure you didn't want to do it.
If you don't mind doing something else, we'll need the extra hands.
Yeah, well, let him do it too.
Okay.
On the bingo,
I'll probably be over there snooping around, but
on the bingo, there's just a little bit of stuff left over from last year. So it's about $45 to get the daubers and some paper cards.
Okay.
So I'll order those through the village's Amazon account.
Okay. And I'll take care of the prizes.
Now, are you still wanting Jan's bingo thing that has the bingo balls
Game
and
set?
the DJ?
Yeah. I think
providing it.
so, but I can double check with the DJ if they have their own. Are you okay with us still using your balls, Jan?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can we quickly circle back up to the bounce house? Don't forget, it's gotta be an attendant at that the entire time, the hours of the festival.
Okay. The bags tournaments. I don't really have experience running tournaments like that. Do you have any experience with that, Denny? Like a bags tournament?
No, not really, just, you get down to the winners and then they,
People that sign up for it right before it starts usually know what they're doing,
Okay.
yeah.
so it's just kind of an observation thing for somebody.
And
And,
just eliminate people till you get a winner.
and then give them a prize. A decent prize too, not just a $5 gift certificate.
Are we wondering about the rules or posting it?
Whoever wants to run it, yeah.
Okay. But again, like I feel like the DJ can keep people hyped for it.
Are you gonna give a prize or?
Yeah. Do we have like an estimate dollar
It's
amount?
doubles, so it's 2 people, so
Two people.
2 prizes.
Okay.
I don't know what they got last year. The year before, one of them got like $20 in gift certificates for something, and the other one got one of the rounds of golf that was with a cart that was donated by Indian Oaks Country Club.
Okay.
And I don't know last year, the year before, I think there were 6 teams of 2 that signed up for it.
Okay.
And then someone just kind of says, okay, they sign up, and in order they sign up, they start play against each other.
We should also put the sign up. Unless does sign up start at 1:30?
They come and sign up right before it starts.
Yeah, I mean,
We've
we've had to sign up at the village table, but no one ever signs up for it ahead of time.
Okay. And then we should.
But
we
the
should just vote on that.
DJ can hype it up and announce it out a few times.
Yeah.
And, 15 minutes before it starts, state, if you're gonna participate in the tournament, please come sign up.
I do think we should note on the schedule that there's a sign up.
Okay. Can you keep track of what you want to change on the schedule?
Absolutely not, because, here we go.
Okay. Oh yeah, so we need a volunteer, I guess, for that. I probably wouldn't mind it depending on what I'm doing otherwise. But we can look at what we have for volunteers and assign people. So for the DJ and karaoke, the one that we're going with says he can do karaoke. I guess we just need to figure out what times he'll be here and just confirm that he's available during those times.
Well, if he's gonna be DJing, how can he call bingo too?
So he would just stop the DJ part and then he would start announcing bingo, I think. I think we're gonna try and arrange it so that his setup is right next to the bingo tent.
So if you're looking at 6 hours and ending at 4:30, just see if he's available to start at 10:30
How much is a pancake breakfast?
It's
by donation.
Awesome. That's my favorite thing to hear.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just confirm with the DJ 10:30 to 4:30 is good. I think he mentioned that he has something that night, so going earlier I think is probably fine. The ice cream eating contest, I have not talked to streamers yet, but I'm willing to do that.
Your best time to do that, if no one said, is you're gonna have to talk to Scott, because if you go in and Sandy's there, she'll tell you you're gonna have to talk to Scott.
Okay.
And she's usually there during the day. On the weekends, he's there a bit more on the day. Otherwise, he's in there a number of evenings.
Evenings.
So kind of that after 4:30, 5 o'clock thing.
Okay.
He was there Monday at 5 o'clock, so.
Okay. So I think we're just scrapping the food establishment because our insurance won't cover that. And that means basically skipping over to the next page. all the way down to BST. I was thinking BST also could potentially sell like canned sodas, bag chips, or not necessarily sell, but give out with donations as well.
Who would buy the soda and stuff?
I was hoping I could find like a Walmart, Jewel who would donate some things. So I'll see about that. Supplies for that.
And coolers, if you hit up all the trustees and, I don't own one,
We have
anybody with the village, see what,
I have a cooler.
we might be able to get a few coolers on loan from people associated with the village.
Who sold soda before? Didn't the
The library
library?
does,
Do you do it again?
yeah.
Okay.
We were planning on it.
Well then, I think we should let the library know
Okay.
that then.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if you can get
Yeah, we
someone to
did
donate it all,
Soda and bottled water, is what we did last year, 'cause it was so hot out,
Okay.
so we did both.
So do you buy the soda to resell then?
No, I'm trying to remember who donated it to us. They did last year, the year before. I'll look at my emails, but we have someone that donated, oh God, I don't remember how many cases of pop. Oh, they donated cases of Gatorade too,
Okay.
and water, so.
Did you want me to try and find a donation source for it too?
Yeah, I mean, if you can, go for it.
Okay.
Can I ask you a seemingly irrelevant question? The pork chop dinner, has it been the same thing every year? The past few years?
The last two, it was. Previous to that, I don't know because I wasn't a
Yeah, it's
Lions member
basically
then.
been the
Oh.
same.
Do you remember what's with the pork chop dinner?
Oh, man,
Baked
Beans,
beans,
chops,
applesauce.
baked beans, applesauce,
coleslaw,
coleslaw, and a roll.
yes,
Is
Did they
it-
use 5Bs the last couple of years?
yes.
Yeah, that would be the menu.
So it's pork chop, baked beans, coleslaw, applesauce, and a roll?
Yeah, 2 pork chops.
No baked potato?
Oh, and then we had half and half too last year. I think we
Half
had
chicken, half
half
pork
chicken
chop.
and half pork chop also. That's right, I forgot about that. Now I'm getting hungry.
Was that your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So the craft vendors, are you just taking care of that, Cindy?
Yeah, I've sent out to 39 at this point, and I have 4 that have said they'll come, and 1 is paid.
Okay.
But they usually don't sign up till closer to the date. And that last week, it'll be a mad scramble.
Okay. Sorry to interject again with
Mhm.
this. The pancake breakfast, is that just pancakes, or they serve other things with it?
Is
No,
there
they-
coffee?
Sausage,
Pancake, really good sausage.
Yeah.
Juice or coffee,
yeah,
Yeah, it's not like biscuit and gravy and stuff.
just pancake.
and it's really good pancakes.
When it comes to the pancakes, is it just like pancakes and syrup, or are they like, can you get strawberry pancakes,
No,
banana
no,
pancakes?
Plain pancakes
syrup,
and syrup.
butter and syrup.
Okay.
With sausage.
But it's all you can eat, so you can ask for a refill.
Ooh, all you can eat.
But I'd ask the fire department if you want to advertise that before you do.
Yeah, make sure you say that or write it down.
If it's all you can eat, that's something we want to put on the schedule.
Yeah, just whatever
You
you're
just
gonna
sold
put
it
on,
to me. I wouldn't have
whatever
got
you
that
just,
until you just said that.
whatever you were gonna put on there, the fire department, someone needs to approve it.
Okay.
Along the same lines, the next item is the bake sale. Should we add that to the schedule, you think,
There's a big sale.
for the
The
library?
library runs it.
Library.
That's why I couldn't run the game thing, because
On
I'm
the
running the big
poster,
sale.
it says it under the craft vendor fair.
It does.
Come shop local vendors and locally made crafts
Okay.
and the bake sale for Llewellyn Memorial Library.
And when they come down from the fire department, the bake sale's the first thing. So they have a prime spot.
Okay. Does the library need anything from us in order to do that, or is that just basically run by yourself?
It's run by myself, and then whatever volunteers that I can find to help me. I'm hoping Jan will volunteer to help me with the bake sale this year.
Do you need tables or are you good on that?
No, we do need tables.
I got 2 brand new ones and I have 3 foldable 8-footers, so whatever you, or
Okay.
6-footers, whatever you need to borrow, you can borrow
Okay,
from me.
thank you. Because last year what we did, we used them from the Lions Club, but at the same time trying to run them down to the thing and then hurry up, pack up, get it back to the Lions Club for them to start, or for us to start up the Lions Club part. It was just, yeah, it was a nightmare doing it that way.
How many volunteers did we have for the festival last year?
Oh,
Nowhere
Not
near
enough.
not enough.
I don't know. It was the trustees that were around, and the church they manned their
Village
stuff,
Bible Church.
and they did help with the ice cream contest last year.
So we're talking like,
2 people.
okay, but like single digits,
Parade, it was 3 trustees running that.
and then we had like 3 trustees help with the festival, plus the couple people from the church. So like 5 or 6 maybe?
No, more than that. 'Cause my husband and my kids were down there volunteering, but they were also helping me with library stuff.
Okay.
Who else? Didn't your son?
Not much.
I was supposed,
No.
my sister and I were supposed to man the village table, but we'll do that again this year. We did it the year before.
And then a couple of people from BST traded off and took turns.
Yep.
For
For
different
the
stuff.
snow cone and the
Popcorn.
popcorn.
Right.
Okay. It sounds like we had maybe like 10 volunteers.
You're pushing it. I don't think we had that many,
Okay.
but it all happened. Because you can never get enough volunteers.
So I think that's all that I have written down for the festival part. Is there anything anyone can think of that we're forgetting?
The only thing that got jumped over was the 102.3 Coyote advertising.
Oh, yeah.
Cause they'd emailed, cause they did last year, we got the farmer's market got the deal that they offered us for
Right.
$275. No one can, everybody else is over $1,000 for any advertising. So I didn't even, WSPY, the cheapest they could negotiate with was a budget of $1,000. So I didn't ask for anything from them. So, but if we're good to go on that, then someone just needs to put together, and you guys probably could, for what you want them to say about the 4th of July, and then we can email Hunter and see what she wants them to say about the farmer's market.
Okay.
They'll run the 4th of July up till then, and then after that, it'll just be farmer's market, and we had them add in for the library's, August.
Our back to school
Back to school bash.
something like that, yeah.
How much, how long are the ads that we're running?
You have the email with you?
Yeah, I do have the email with me. It is, well, here, 80 primetime ads.
A live broadcast.
Live broadcast on the select date, free unlimited bonus mentions advertising the farmer's market. It does not say how many minutes
All season long. So whatever a primetime ad is.
yeah.
But-
But I heard it a
30
gazillion
seconds.
times last year, popping up the library stuff and, the village's 4th of July stuff and the farmer's market. All last year I heard it multiple times. And now, mind you, it only takes me 2 minutes to get to work. So for me, hearing it multiple times, that's quite good.
Would you forward that email to me and Josh?
Yeah, or if you just want to take that copy, go ahead. That way I don't forget, because,
What about our road signs that we talked about, when are they coming in?
Nothing's been ordered yet, so those are in the packet too. The mock-ups of them. If you guys wanna change anything, you can. That would be the,
Are we done with your part first?
Yeah, until we get to the parade, which is just a list of ideas of who we can contact, which I'm fine with doing later.
3-foot by 6-foot banners. And they're in the handout you guys got.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, Melanie said you guys wanted words on them, but the more words you have, the smaller the print gets and
This is
the less reading, that would be the banners.
Okay.
And what size would these be?
3-foot by 6-foot.
Oh, big ones, huh?
Yeah, and if you go bigger than that, then the wind's gonna just destroy
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty big though, 3 by 6.
Okay. Yeah, the only,
And how many we getting?
You'd asked for 9, so that's what I got the quote for.
Okay. And will the,
Public Works, so
Public Works will put them up?
they'll
for us?
put them up the village ones up, yeah. If you want them in somewhere else, then you'll have to do them or make arrangements with that municipality.
Well, if I know what day they were doing it, I'd go along with them maybe,
Okay.
if you could.
Yeah,
ask
once
them.
they come in, they usually try to put them up with the, barring anything going on, they'll put them up as quick as they can.
Yeah,
And that would be, they can do one in front of the sign when you leave the state park, the directional sign for
Right.
Shabbona, they'll do one underneath that. You're limited out there on what you can do in those ditches because of the amount of utilities running in there. Because you guys weren't around, but in 2021, they julied out there for the looping of water and there was 1 million flags. So there's a limitation to what you can do along Preserve Road. So, but he knows right where that sign is coming out of the park, you can definitely do. You can do one at the corner of Preserve and Shabbona Road, on our corner, not the county's. We own one of the easements there, so. And then we can do it Indian Road and Preserve Road. And then welcome signs.
30 in Indian Road too.
That would be, IDOT would have to approve it because it could become a blockage.
How
at
about
the
if we put it
corners.
over in Clint's property?
If Clint gives permission, one could go on his property.
He will,
The village signs technically partly in his property,
yeah,
and, that, a banner goes by that.
yeah, we'll get one out.
Cause we can do banners by all 4 village signs.
Okay, yeah, if you could get a hold of them, or let them know that I'd like to go with them on a particular day.
But if you guys wanna change anything on the banner, I just need to know.
That would be Alan, what do you think?
I do want to edit the banner, if you don't mind.
Okay.
If we get it to you by the end of the week, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
If you wanna do a different graphic, whatever, I just, make sure it's a high enough quality so that the,
Yeah. It's gonna be,
we have a tax exempt account with signs on the cheap. That's what I use to order. They're hundreds of dollars cheaper than most places for banners.
did we decide on 4:30 to end the festival?
I think that's what we kind of agreed on,
Okay.
but maybe we should make that permanent, just agree,
8 AM to
4:30.
4:30.
yeah. Okay. 8 to 4.
And then this other sheet I gave was the Purdy Park directional signs. We have 7 left from previous, with the arrows, but it sounded like, I put 25 on the estimate. Additional were asked for to put them more directionality to where Purdy Park is. So it's up to you guys, but it's just the one with the arrow. They're just normal yard signs. They're not the tiny ones, they're a bit bigger than that.
What size are they?
I don't remember offhand.
And
Oh,
how
wait,
many
no, I
you
got that
got?
sheet, hold on, 18 by 24.
How many of them?
I got 25 on here, plus we
Oh.
have 7 from before,
Yeah, that's quite a few.
and then we can go lower, and then I got 4
So,
much bigger yard signs. They don't have arrows on them though, but they say 4th of July. That they put up on the corners along,
okay,
Route 30.
okay. We wanna order 25 of these, is that right?
That's up to you guys. I was just told that we might want a lot of them.
I agree, I think we do want a lot of them,
It's 220 on that sheet for 25, and it's not too bad.
yeah. Alright, do you mind if I edit this and get you
That's fine.
final by the end of the week?
Yep.
We're gonna order 20 of them. Or 25.
You said 25,
Okay.
we can make it 20.
I'm easy.
I don't know where we're gonna put them, but we'll figure it out.
Well, and then you got it for next year. You know, if you lose
Yeah,
one
as long
this
as
year.
there's no information.
And the
that
last
was
banners lasted, one of them lasted 2, well, I heard it got ripped before, it came apart before the festival last year. The other banner's on its way out, it wasn't gonna last another season. And the yard signs, the 7 we have left, I think the original 15 we got, those are 2 years old.
If we end up using 18 of them, we got 7 new ones for the following year, I guess we gotta replace them.
And then we do have the parade event, no parking signs. There's quite a few of those. Those were brand new last year. They're 18 by 24 yard signs that couple of the committee members went and put up on the parade route and around the park to make sure people weren't parking at the park area. But they used them along the parade routes, not on Route 30, but on Cherokee and side streets. And I don't know if they put them out that morning, or if they put them, I think they put them out the day before or 2 days before.
Yeah, but don't they
Kellen,
say?
did you hear
11
that part?
There, no parking.
Kellen.
As of
No.
11 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or during.
What are we talking about?
The no parking signs.
No parking signs, the day of,
If the guys don't put them.
along the parade route.
Before,
I think they went up 2
be
days
out that morning.
ahead of time last year.
Is Public Works doing that or am I doing that?
The committee did it last year.
Okay,
Sounds like you're doing it.
sounds like I'm doing it.
I'll probably help with that.
But depending on what's going on and what things are looking like, you can ask Buddy. He's got his part-time guy who usually mows on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And maybe Jake might be able to make, depending on what's going on, he might be able to make Jake available.
Okay.
But it's always that case of you don't want to overload Public Works, because if something happens, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happens.
The popcorn machine, popcorn and bags, that's all here. Got cleaned after the library used it for something after winter holiday festival. So I'll arrange with Buddy to see about getting it brought down the morning of and set up on the tables, after the tables are set up.
Okay.
And then I think there might be one sandwich board sign up here that has a lineup sign for the parade that they used at the high school drive for people to pull in. And it kind of started the lineup area.
Okay.
And then we've got 3 sandwich boards at the office. I'm not sure one of them could be for this. I don't know. And 2 of them we can take over to the park with sponsor signs on and anything else we want to advertise.
Okay.
And we have the cornhole bags, boards with bags. Yeah.
Do we need any supplies for the popcorn machine, like butter?
No, it's
Popcorn
packets. You
kernels.
put in the popcorn machine and it's got the oil, butter, salt, everything in there.
Okay.
So you're saying we have it?
Yes. Remember, because I'd ordered extra?
Yeah, but he was asking
Oh,
if
yeah,
we
no,
needed
we
to get
have
some.
plenty. Mel didn't use anywhere near what was ordered.
Yeah, no.
And it was past the return frame for it, so.
Okay.
If you'll excuse me.
Alright, so is there anything else that we're potentially forgetting about the festival that anyone can think of? Then I think we'd be on to the parade, which.
Thanks for all your work you're doing, that's impressive.
Thank you.
I did, well, he's in the bathroom. I did put the festival parade, the 4th of July event on DeKalb County Tourism website, convention, whatever it's called.
Okay.
It's free, so I put it on there because I went in and did the farmer's market for 100 too. And then I'll do the free, I usually do the free stuff like through WSPY's website. And there was one other one I have a note on that I found last year that was free.
What is that? That would be free, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think they had a free thing.
I think so too.
They're part of WSPY, so
Right.
their advertising's way too expensive.
Okay. So what do we have?
Anybody got anything else?
You wanted to do parade, something about the parade.
Talk about the parade?
So I just wrote down a bunch of different ideas. I don't know if we have to go through it all or not. I think Callan is gonna just take over contacting them all, so maybe we just leave it to him to do it.
Well, let's wait for him to come out then.
Yeah.
I see you have Adam Honeyotis on here, they'll be busy at the park, so,
Very busy.
I mean, you can ask them, but that's probably your answer for
They
that.
they usually have a little band thing out there, and between the restaurant and the boat rental, if he's not on shift, they're pretty darn busy out there.
Yeah, and these are just a bunch of ideas that we can just see. So do you have anything about the parade? I basically said that I think you can just contact a bunch of people. I have some ideas on this list. You might have more ideas, and Melanie, I think, is gonna give you a list sometime.
Tonight, before I forget again, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Any questions or?
Yeah, the taco truck want a parade, but that would mean that they couldn't set up at 10:30 to start selling.
Oh, I was thinking, because I think they have a trailer, right? Maybe they could use just their truck. It's just an option. if they
You
want
can
to.
ask them, but I think they have to have the truck for the generator to run
Oh.
that they have. I don't know that for sure, but
Okay.
when I saw that, I was like, oh, I don't know.
And then on the police, it's county, and since we are with them for our patrol, they don't charge us.
Okay.
And Don already has that lined up.
All right. Well, that was
Usually,
more-
county will lead off car will lead off the parade, be the first vehicle, and then the fire trucks all come right behind it. That's one thing, if nobody's mentioned that.
Yeah, we
With the
haven't.
parade, all the fire goes first, because if there's an emergency,
Can get out.
your parade gets really short if they
Yeah.
don't go,
Okay.
so. And I know when they planned the lineup last year, they planned and they had all the fire, because it's Shabbona, Waterman, Lee, and Pawpaw came last year too.
Okay.
And they lined them up starting on Cherokee Street, pointed in the direction the parade's gonna go. And they didn't have them line up at the school, because that would have taken all the school drive. And they lined them up and let all those guys go before they started releasing them from the school driveway.
Okay.
You just have to contact all the fire departments. And they had a note about the auto shops, Dunn's does not have a tow truck.
Okay.
So.
They don't have any cars that are like fancy or anything. Okay.
Does anybody at Dunn's own like a classic car or something like that? I'm shocked.
No.
Car guys
Nick's
always
got a
have-
classic Jeep, but it's a rusted out bucket of bolts that he can't part with. Keeps saying he's gonna fix it.
Buddy usually is,
Buddy will drive his
In the
Nova
parade.
in the parade, because then he shoots out to Streeter, who has a big auto show that
Okay.
awards prizes. Cause you have a note about the public works truck. John, the last 2 years was in Earlville, because Earlville does something on the 4th of July, and he lives in Earlville and is on their board of trustees. And
Okay.
they're the only two licensed to drive the truck other than Jake.
Okay.
So it's a case where you're not on our insurance to drive it, you can't drive it.
Okay.
But if you can find somebody with a truck and get some trustees in it, go for it.
So, I think I
But you
had,
might want the trustees running stuff in the festival.
I think I had a couple of questions about parade logistics. Are we, I guess during the parade, are we gonna have a police car at like every corner, or what should I
They
expect?
do them at the Route 30 corners.
Okay,
So that would be at Sequoia, Shabbona Road, and Indian Road. Because they redirect traffic starting at Indian Road.
which is out by BP.
Yeah, all the
Feel
traffic
free if
goes
you say
south of
something
town
you don't
and
know what
across.
to ask.
All the traffic goes south of town and then across Preserve Road out to 30.
Out to Route 30 after that.
So there's no traffic at all in downtown.
So there are other cars not at Sequoia, they might have something, it's out by Route 30 and Preserve Road, where it, with Preserve jets off of Route 30 there.
yeah.
After
I'm
the curves.
I'm mainly thinking in terms of directing the parade.
No, the county usually has a car that leads is the first vehicle in the parade. So they're-
They know where they're going.
But is there a risk of there's a gap and then the next person over doesn't know which way to turn?
Well, we had that
Yeah,
last
sure.
year. That happened last year, that they had a, animal of some sort, I forget what it
The
was.
baby reindeer.
Yeah, it's
The
reindeer.
reindeer,
They
yeah.
had to stop. and put
They
it
got
in.
tired, they had to, pick it up.
It's too hot for the.
Then there was a
Yeah.
big gap in it.
Yes.
And they wanted to keep going south towards the high school and not going out by the nursing home. So I had to direct them to go by the nursing home.
Okay.
So, yeah, it
So
does
us
happen.
directing the parade, yeah. They just stop the traffic.
So were you and Jeff and Allison at key points throughout the parade then
Yeah.
to.
Yep.
They
Yeah, I'll
were the
probably
three
be
that
out
did
there.
it.
Okay.
And you
Or
can use
Casey's.
the Motorola mobile radios that we have. We've got 4 handhelds.
Okay.
Was there one at the festival booth? They talked about it, having one at the village booth, and then 3 of them were for the parade. And then after the parade, 3 of you guys would still have mobile radios, so if there were any communications needed.
How many of these radios do we have?
4. But he keeps them charged up, so.
And in terms of order, like which people are where in line, how critical is it that this person's in front of this person, etc.?
Fire department's really the only one that's critical.
And the fire
Just,
department,
yeah, well, they did a
First.
pre-lineup last year. Did they use the index cards?
I don't know.
I can,
what they
I can ask.
I wasn't sure
They had
if
index cards they were gonna use, and they were to hand them out the numbers as they lined people up. Because there's certain things they did not wanna put the horses in front of,
That's right.
because there will be, Timber Creek Farm.
Too rich.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's on
Timber
Shannon
Ridge.
Road.
Nearings.
Kelly Nearing.
Timber Ridge.
She usually, with a couple of the people, ride horses, so. And they clean up behind themselves. They have someone clean up behind them.
yeah, that was my next question. So the fire department goes first, right?
All fire departments first.
Okay,
County cop and all fire departments.
okay.
So that's like a half an hour of your parade right there.
So,
It used to be just fire vehicles almost.
I guess the main thing is, like we would want to separate the horses from stuff that's super, super loud.
Yep. Probably other animals.
And probably other animals, if we have other animals. I guess one question I have is like, if there's a specific order that we've had every year, is somebody going to be offended if they're in a different spot or something like that?
I'll ask.
Okay.
I'll ask. I'll reach out and ask.
Well, you just work with it, you know.
Yeah.
Slap 'em on the back and smile.
I know, because they did it the first year, the same trustees were on it, so they kind of coordinated last year from what they learned the first year.
Okay.
Because there's a lineup time involved.
Mhm.
Was it lineup starting at 11 a.m.?
11 or 11:30, I'm trying to remember.
Kicks off at noon.
No, it was at least 11, if not
It
10.
was at least 11 a.m. It's on the parade.
Oh,
Might be on
yeah.
the village website too.
It might be on the village, that parade map. Kind of starts at whatever time. I'm
Yeah, I
trying to
didn't print
remember.
that. The village website though, the top, when you go to the homepage, has a red bar that says 4th of July Parade and Festival. And if you click on that, it takes you to the page that has all the information. And I'll update that based on what we do here.
Okay.
Well, thank you for all your help.
Yeah.
I missed being there last year. It was very sad. 2025 is a better year.
Anybody got anything else?
Did we address the rest of the other items?
Next
We also
meeting,
have the RFP.
What?
and building
next
stuff.
meeting.
Yeah, next meeting. Do we have another meeting before the
We have
4th?
other stuff on the agenda for additions.
Oh, okay.
Building inspector was added to the agenda.
Yeah. Jenny, did you get the RFP?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we just want to look this over, and if it's good, do we have to recommend this to council? Does council need to like have a resolution for this, or?
No, the board can just approve it. I'll just, did you use something to base it off of? Something another municipality's ever posted?
Yeah, I forget which one, but they.
That's okay, there's lots of them, they're great templates,
Okay.
so. But yeah, so we should be okay. The biggest thing is that instead of by mail, I would just do by email.
Just email?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty
Makes
much, it's pretty much, anytime you do an RFP, you can just do an email request.
Okay.
Then you're gonna set up a meeting with them, or we sit on top of them, or
What's that?
are you gonna set up a meeting where we sit down and talk with these people, or?
Yeah, so I have a No later than June 19th at 5 p.m. I figure we can collect whatever we get and sit down and talk to all of the people who applied.
Okay. You wanna coordinate that then and set it up?
Sure.
Okay.
And the RFP, how do we publish this?
So, one, it'll go on the village website. It gets shortened up, and it's, I have to look into it yet, I haven't had time. For any RFPs, there's a service you can use as well, I don't know if it costs anything. And otherwise, it's advertising in papers, so like the Rockford Register Star, and the Kelp Chronicle, something in Kane County.
So just to clarify, this RFP, does the village board have to approve it, or pass a resolution that says we're gonna do it?
I would think if it involves advertising on newspapers, we might have to spend the money on it.
Well, I
Yeah, you
wonder if
don't
we-
know how much that's gonna be until you submit it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wonder if we've already appropriated some amount, like, for that purpose.
There's money in publishing, isn't there?
Okay. So do you think that we will have to bring this up at a board meeting and then approve it before we publish it?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can just change the date then for sometime after the board meeting.
And we can talk about that Lee, attorney too.
Okay. Well, do you have any things that you wanted to edit or add to the RFP?
No, well, I think, as long as we're talking about the building inspector, why don't we throw in talking about the attorney too?
Sure. We don't have an RFP for the attorney, right?
I'd be willing to try and find one to get that too also.
Yeah, we can take that to the next board meeting too.
Because we really do need an attorney here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Mhm.
And I think that's a priority, more than a building inspector, myself.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll take that to the next board meeting.
So we're gonna need to call a special meeting, because I'm assuming we don't wanna wait till June 28th. Or 23rd, whatever our next board meeting is. Because we're
I would-
also, after the 1st of June, I'll have the recommendation from Chastain from the bid opening that happened today for the fire department drain.
Okay.
And that'll need a special meeting because, otherwise it delays them on, starting on the contract phase of it and that.
So your suggestion, we have a special meeting and
Yeah, sometime in,
interview a building inspector and a lawyer?
no, it would just be approving the RFPs and publishing them and approving or not approving the bid.
What do you mean publishing?
Advertising.
We need to advertise them. We can't just post them on our website or you don't post them on Facebook. You don't,
You can't just outright hire them.
We're
Like-
trying to find shop around, find someone who will do it for the best price, like hiring someone, you don't want to just hire anyone.
Well, you're saying this is one of, could be many.
Yes.
this is just our request for proposals on it. There is no proposals yet. We don't have any companies to attach or names to attach to this.
Okay, but what I'm trying to get at though is let's do the lawyers, and the building
Concentrate.
inspector together.
We can do them at the same
Process,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
When are we supposed to get the bids back for the drain project?
First of June.
That's a Sunday.
No, you don't count weekends at all. It's business days, and so a holiday doesn't count Monday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be around Wednesday, the 4th of June. So our meeting's not till the 23rd. I'd probably say plan to see if everybody's available for a special meeting like around the 9th of June. Or the 5th of June. I'd have to touch base with Curtis and see if they're gonna turn on the 8th day or the 9th. The 5th would be the, 4th would be the 9th day.
Yeah.
You have
I think-
to leave, you can't do anything with your bid opening for 8 days in case somebody protests the bid opening.
Okay. All right, so I think we should do it sooner rather than later. I know Mark Stanley's not available on Thursdays typically. And if it's a Friday, it's gonna be early afternoon. So,
What about June 9th, the Monday?
yeah, I think that'll work.
I can put an email out to everybody asking that,
Yeah,
because we can plan ahead for it then.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that works for me. I assume that works for you. I assume that works for you, so, yeah. You know, one more person is a quorum, so. So if we can get that done.
Yeah, for this kind of stuff, you're gonna wanna have everybody possible there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about both of them that night then?
Yeah.
Or what's your procedure that you see to do this?
I think we'll have to approve the RFPs for both the building inspector and a new attorney on a special meeting on the 9th. And when's the regular meeting that month?
The 23rd, 2 weeks later,
Okay, so,
because that way.
we're already kind of in contact with some people, so I think we will get some bids by the 23rd. So we'll be able to talk about if we want to hire somebody on the 23rd.
Another option that I was thinking was, could we hire an attorney just temporarily until we have a more permanent one through the RFP process?
You'd have to get the hourly rates that would be charged, and the board has to approve it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that.
You don't want a temporary one? Okay.
Okay.
So
So-
June 9th, we're gonna have a,
Yeah, I think we should plan on June 9th unless the other trustees definitely can't make it.
for a full board meeting,
Yes,
Special meeting.
special meeting, you talk about the lawyer and talk about the building inspector. Right.
And the
quotes.
bids for the runoff issue over at the park and fire department.
Oh, okay. So it'll be three things,
And if there's anything else,
okay,
we can agenda whatever.
yeah. And can you get that out pretty soon so people? know?
Tomorrow morning, I'll email out for availability for the June 9th to make sure we'll have a quorum.
Right,
If
And
the
then,
answer is yes, then go ahead and schedule it,
yeah,
Yeah.
because,
let's get her done.
yeah.
And then I'll draft up an agenda and send it out for any additionals.
Okay.
Very good, I think we accomplished a lot.
I think so. We got anything else?
Motion
Next
to-
meeting date, no, next meeting date,
What,
next meeting date.
next meeting date? We
We wanna
probably
meet-
should meet before the 4th again.
Yeah, I would think so.
Maybe early June? What do you think?
Mid-June?
Early mid-June, yeah.
Are there decisions that are gonna have to be made on anything?
I don't think so, mostly just planning, I would say, so,
Just double checking everything.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We could do June
My
11th.
recommendation would be the first week of June, do the next meeting. Which would be like if you do it on a Wednesday, the 4th. And then do a short meeting on the 25th, the week before the 4th of July, just to do a final touch base to make sure,
Okay.
everybody's ready to go and knows what they're doing and nothing last minute's come up. Because at that point, you'll also know what your grade's looking like.
Okay, June 4th and what's the other one?
25th.
25th?
You could do different dates, I'm just kind of throwing those out there, the
Yeah.
Wednesday in the middle of those weeks.
which is
Yeah.
a church night, so the church can't attend.
Oh, then Tuesday or Thursday those weeks.
Tuesday, I gotta try to
Thursday
see
or
if I can
better.
get, Tuesday, I gotta try and
Thursday.
get coverage.
I don't know if they'll come, I mean, I've been emailing him, he's pretty good about responding to that.
Do it on Thursday then. You guys are, that's up to your guys'
Wait.
availability.
I have a township board meeting
Just leave it on the Wednesdays.
on Thursday.
Okay,
Jeremy's pretty easy to,
I thought that was the 12th,
They changed it because of.
because we're out of town.
Because we're out of town, so they're.
That was nice of them.
It was.
Okay, so we got June 4th and June 25th. Are those full board meetings or are those committee meetings or what?
Just
Public
just
affairs.
us.
Public affairs, okay.
6:30 or 6 o'clock?
I can do either, I think.
I prefer earlier, if we do
6
6.
o'clock?
6 is fine.
And those are both Wednesday nights.
Before, I know. Just quick question, Jen. Do we have an ordinance that specifies the time of our meetings? Or a policy that specifies the time of our meetings? Or is it just like whenever we schedule it for?
I'd have to look at what the ordinance says.
Okay.
I think when we have, for regular meetings, right? Or
Well, both,
both?
yeah.
Regular meetings, I think when we pass, or say when our meetings are yearly, I think it does this time.
They've pretty much always been at 7 PM on the fourth Monday of the month.
Okay.
That's
It's
so that
because if
the
any
majority-
trustees work, that gives them an opportunity to be able to come, as well as more people to come if they don't get off work till 5 or 6 o'clock and have to commute.
But yeah, I think if we wanted to change the regular meeting, we'd have to do it next year probably, before we pass or accept the.
The fiscal year's already been posted.
Fiscal year 26? Okay.
So we'd have to look into the legalities of changing an entire fiscal year.
We'll ask the attorney that we'll have next month.
Why would you wanna change it? I mean, what would you wanna change it to?
I would prefer it to be earlier, and I know Mark Stanley also, he talked to me, he's like, these meetings are too late.
Well, what's earlier?
Probably 6,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
I was gonna say, cause you gotta make sure that the community can come if they choose to.
You know,
I like 7 better than 6.
Yeah, well. But 6 is for
I don't
people
know.
that are
I'm here by
working, they
6.
just, if they can get here and
It
then
doesn't
they
mean that much to me anymore.
take one home.
we can fight over it.
And you're gonna send a memo out with all this stuff on it, right?
Oh, what stuff?
The dates,
Oh, of the new
Yeah.
next meetings?
yeah,
Yeah,
then
Mel can send an email out with the 2 meeting dates.
Yep.
the 2 meetings and,
And then Jen will have to do the one for
Special meeting.
for your guys' special meeting.
Yeah, I got, that's
Yeah.
me.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
You'll see an email tomorrow asking if you're able to make it
yep, okay.
and what the meetings, special meetings for.
Because we're throwing out a lot of dates and a lot of different things there.
And is Don willing to schedule that meeting, or do you need 3 trustees to do it?
A special meeting?
Yeah,
Oh, I'll talk to him tomorrow.
okay.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Probably.
You got anything else?
As clerk, I'd prefer to not last minute, because it's, even though I didn't do a packet, it's still a lot of work for me. Makes it hard.
Anybody got anything else? Motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Come on, Danny, opposed.
Opposed?